Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special episode of MetsMania. As always, I'm JJ. He's Jax. We got a great show for you guys today. Jax, I believe you got somewhere very special to be this weekend.
I do. We have the retirement number 5, the captain David Wright this Saturday. I get to go to this game. I'm from David Wright's hometown, Chesapeake, Virginia, and I get to drive up this weekend and see a captain and possibly new captain be named into the Mets. So
Let's not spoil too much.
Yeah,
We still
yeah.
got we have a lot to get to. I'll tell you that
Right.
right now. So we got ourselves a great show for you guys this afternoon. I hope you guys are having an excellent Thursday. It is July 17th, one day before Mets baseball comes back. But let's start off with a very positive subject, I would say, because there's been a lot of positives going around this baseball team lately. One being the show that we witnessed in Atlanta. The Mets showed out at the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, you had a scoreless inning from David Peterson. He got Aaron Judge out, which was amazing. Obviously, the main highlight, the Pete Alonso 3-run shot, which we can talk about how he's not the MVP. I mean,
Who cares? It's the All-Star game.
Yeah, but come on, 3 home runs.
I love Pete. Don't get me wrong, and that's a dumb rule that they changed at the last minute. I did not like that. I think that was very poorly done by them, to say the least. But what I can say is, it would have been nice to have a 99 overall Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
I can tell you that right now.
I will say
Unfortunately,
though,
it's just a pipe dream.
Side note, I mean the swing off was amazing. That was definitely easily the best All-Star game besides Four Nations, which I don't know if I want to count, but MLB has the best All-Star game. It's the most competitive. But anyways, Lindor, he went 0 for 2, but he had some hard contact the second at bat. Edwin Diaz had a blown save, which I don't understand.
I'm not calling that a blown save.
He had 0 earned runs, and the only hit
55 mile an hour
dribbler hit by Stephen Kwan. Yeah, that was so stupid. And thank God, we do question Carlos Mendoza's bullpen management, but
Dave Roberts
has the worst bullpen management ever. I mean, we've obviously seen in the postseason in the past. Why would you put Ranger Suarez in?
Robert Suarez.
Oh, Robert Suarez. My bad. That's my bad.
Good.
That's a Phillies pitcher. Instead of Edwin Diaz, who's obviously the best closing pitcher in the NL, who's probably going to win another NL reliever of the year. That's a stupid choice, but whatever. The swing off.
It is what it is.
So.
It would have been sick to see Alonso walk it off in the swing.
Dude, why would you have Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge, but you put
Judge wasn't available, I don't think. I think Judge left.
But still, you had Cal Raleigh win the home run derby, but yeah, let's put in Jonathan Aranda, who has 11 home runs.
Hey, it made it easier for us to win it, so I'm not going to complain too much. It just would have been nice to have that Pete Alonso. Either way, I mean, the highlight that you didn't mention that I want to mention is Aaron Judge is at the plate. David Peterson's pitching. Judge hits a ground ball to Lindor, who fires it to Pete Alonso. That was just poetic.
I mean, it was I wanted to repost that clip because it was all 3 Mets combined. Every Met made that play. So that was a nice mention. I kind of forgot about that to mention it, but I mean, he got Aaron Judge out, who is obviously the best player in all of baseball. You can debate that, but
it doesn't matter who they got out. It was still an incredible
every Met performed well. I mean, basically the whole game was won by the NL East. Sorry, my bad. I should have rephrased that. But
shout out to the National League East.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just an all-around good show. All-Star game was entertaining. Still the best All-Star game. I think we can all agree on that.
Best division by a country mile. The NL East just runs things. Speaking of running things, you want to talk about somebody that's been running things lately? Well, I wouldn't say lately, but for a very long time, we had ourselves somebody that we could call, and I'd say this term not very often, but a captain. And the dog just jumped on me. I guess he likes David Wright very much, so let me
Who doesn't?
That's true. Who doesn't like David Wright? Tell me a little bit about that. I know that I thought David Wright, he is my favorite player in all baseball, but I know he means some more to you because you're from his hometown of Chesapeake, Virginia. So tell me a little bit about David Wright and what it was like growing up in his home state of Virginia.
I mean, so he went to Hickory High School. He was drafted the 38th overall from Hickory High School in 2002. And, I mean, it is crazy. He is a icon here, and he's obviously an icon at Hickory High School, and his numbers retired there. And I actually got lucky to play, I know JV ball, but I got to play at Hickory High School. And he's obviously growing up watching him play, I mean, he's the reason why I love baseball. He is, since day one, since I was born, he has been probably the like most important athlete of my life. Obviously, I think growing up, Von Miller is my favorite athlete, but I didn't get to watch David Wright as much because of the injuries, sadly. But I mean, I've watched so many of his highlights, and he's a special. I mean, everyone in my family has met David Wright besides me, and hopefully one day I get to meet him, which I'm super jealous that my family has. But he's an incredibly special
He
person.
apparently just did like a signing on Long Island, I was told.
Really?
Like the other day.
I think
and he
I
doesn't
saw,
do those very often.
Actually, Kurt Hawkins, I actually got a picture with him on Instagram. It was actually pretty funny.
And to think that the one time you're not in Long Island is when David Wright does the signing. Oh yeah, on Long Island. That's my bad.
Yeah,
I'm from New York. I should know how to talk about Long Islanders.
But anyways, David Wright is obviously, he deserves to be a cap. He is the definition of a captain. Great guy on the field, great guy off the field. He puts up the numbers. He's a great face of the franchise. I mean, you cannot see a single bad thing about David Wright. He is a truly astonished athlete and a special person to, be the face of the franchise. It's hard to put into words how much David Wright did for this franchise. He was the fourth captain after Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, and John Franco. I mean, these are legends.
Wasn't Mike Piazza the captain? Not
never.
Franco? Really?
John Franco was
Piazza was never the captain.
Yeah, I know, that's surprising. Which hopefully we get named another captain, which we can talk about later. But David Wright, he is the best position player for the Mets ever. Debatable. I mean, this could change with Lindor or Soto, but I still think he is the best position player ever to wear a Mets uniform.
I agree 1,000%. Just in terms of his loyalty to the team, the fact that he didn't ever play, was lifetime Met, didn't play for another franchise, and he just means so much to me. And he's the reason I fell in love with baseball, and he is just first ever sports memorabilia thing I ever had was a David Wright bobblehead. It broke about 13 years ago. So now I'm on a quest to get a new one and fulfill my Mets bobblehead collection. But we could dwell about David Wright all day long, which is a beauty, but that's what Saturday is for. Make sure you tune in to SNY that day at 4:10 p.m. It's going to be one of the most emotional days in Met history. My dad and I were lucky enough to witness Darryl Day. I'm hoping I can somehow sneak a last-minute spot at that game because the 5-year-old me is just kicking myself in the nuts repeatedly. You said you don't care how much the money was. You were going to go no matter what. I don't know. I'll see if I can pull some strings. But speaking of pulling strings, the Mets may have done some pulling strings of their own. A few days ago, and this was yesterday, we saw this video that got leaked on the MLB's page, and we're going to play this video for you right now, but could this be a sign of change with the term captain of the Mets? Roll the clip.
Very proud to be on that short list of guys that have been considered captain of this franchise.
7 All-Star teams broke the Mets franchise record for hits. David Wright has hit his first World Series home run.
Flair for the dramatic.
You can't proclaim yourself a captain. It's got to be bestowed on you upon other people.
David Wright brings himself back into the lineup with thunder. Holy smokes! The captain is back!
It's truly been an honor of a lifetime to take the field with you and serve as your captain. I truly bleed orange and blue.
When he comes to the plate, that place rocks.
It's gone! Francisco Lindor! He may have just outdone himself!
What a leader, what a star that the New York Mets have.
Linsanity! I could chant MVP all night.
You go, we go. That is Lindor with these Mets.
If Carlos Mendoza and the organization wants to drop a seat on him, it makes sense.
Yeah. So that came out yesterday, and somebody is getting fired. We know that for a fact. But yeah, this is something that I feel like we've seen this coming for a while now. But the fact that David Wright is potentially the one that's going to name Francisco Lindor the captain is just awesome. Give us your thoughts.
I mean, being a captain in baseball, it's an incredibly rare feat. I mean, for hockey, basketball, and football, I mean, it's a common thing. Everyone has even multiple captains, but in baseball, it's a complete rarity. The Mets only have 4 captains ever, and there's only 2 active captains with Salvador Perez and Aaron Judge in baseball. But it's going to be
the Yankees have only had like 5 or 6, I'm pretty sure. Because you've had Jeter, Judge, Thurman Munson, Polo. Yeah, they haven't really had that many captains either. It's a rare thing for sure.
It's going to be poetic when at the end of David Wright's ceremony, he passes the torch over to Francisco Lindor and gives him that big C on his chest. And another guy who's a face of the franchise, you hear no bad things about him except if you're Jeff McNeil. But he is he's humble. He does everything well, and he's everything you want in a face of the franchise. I mean, he signs autographs. He comes to the games early. He does a lot of like meet and greets. He does everything, and he's an MVP. He's a MVP runner-up. I mean, he's top 3 shortstop in baseball, going down top 5 shortstop maybe ever. Definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, the guy comes up clutch in any moment. He doesn't look like he has any like stress when he's at the plate. I mean, this is a guy which maybe Soto can maybe be a captain along the ways. Maybe when Lindor is at the end of his career, I don't know, but definitely Lindor is a leader. The Mets wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for Lindor. Last year, when he called the team meeting, it changed the Mets franchise forever. And if it wasn't for that team meeting, we wouldn't have that stretch we had with the OMG Grimace Mets. We wouldn't have Juan Soto. We want to do so many things. Francisco Lindor is probably one of the most impactful Mets ever. I'd go Tom Seaver and maybe some like Doc and Darryl like up there, but
I would say Darryl and then David Wright and then probably Francisco number 4.
Yeah, he's an incredible he's one of the great New York Mets, probably gonna be better than David Wright, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer as a New York Met. And this is like I said, incredible honor. He'd only be the 3rd captain in baseball, so it'd be pretty special.
Yeah, and that's something that doesn't really get talked about enough is the way that this dude has impacted this team. Like you mentioned, the team meeting that happened that led to the whole OMG Grimace thing, which just by the sound of it is the most fantasy bullshit thing you'll ever hear. Like a McDonald's mascot sparked a rally with a Latin pop song. Like, what? Yeah. You just had that is legit a moment where you just had to be there. If you weren't there, then you just missed out.
Still like a hole in my heart, that team did not win the World Series. Like whenever the Mets do win a World Series, I always think about, man, I really wish that 2024 team won the World Series.
They should give Jose Iglesias a ring.
They should
if they win a World Series. I'm being serious. They absolutely should.
I miss OMG so much. Like God,
I don't miss him on the field though. Because this season he's been terrible.
Thank God we didn't re-sign him, but yeah, I do miss him.
Well, I think a lot of us miss him, but remember, you have to try to win baseball games at the end of the day.
True. You can't have gimmicks. I'm glad this team doesn't have a gimmick though, because we're a serious team. This is a good team. We're not like an underdog. I mean, we have I think even Lindor said this. We have a top 3 payroll. We shouldn't be an underdog. We should.
Last year we were a complete underdog. This year, whole different conversation.
No more gimmicks.
And speaking of I don't know if we could say that yet. No more gimmicks, because I'm not sure if a lot of people have really heard. The reinforcements are back. Kodai Senga, the Ghost Fork, and Shamania, our tribal chief, they're back.
And it's funny that Roman Reigns returned the next day after Shamania. I don't know if you saw that. They could have actually been the same day, but with Seth Rollins got hurt. I don't know if that changed any plans, but I mean, yeah, these are 2 big reinforcements. These are 2 trade deadline acquisitions, and obviously with Griffin Canning out for the year, and God, do I miss Griffin Canning starts. But anyways,
just not against the bad teams. Just not against the bad teams. He sucked against the bad teams.
Yeah.
Really good against the Dodgers.
Yeah, how did he win at Dodger Stadium and shoved? I don't get that.
And the White Sox, come on, dude. He fits right in, is what I mean.
At least he's high leverage. He's not low leverage like some right fielder in New York. But anyways. But Shamania, you didn't have him for the whole year. I mean, he was the Mets ace last year. He had big games in the NLDS in Game 3. He shows a lot of emotion. I mean, he could have been the Mets ace this year, but Kodai Senga had an incredible year. Somehow not an all-star, but Jacob Mizorowski with 5 starts as an all-star. But
absurd.
You can debate that how you want. I mean, I think David Peterson deserves it more. I mean, he has been flat out amazing since 2024. I mean, what a story. Because I mean, when David Peterson was making starts in like 2021 and 2023, I would just get this guy off my team. But now he's co-ace with.
I knew he was gonna get better eventually.
Oh yeah.
Tyler McGill, I knew there was just no saving.
Yeah, I'm so done with McGill. He needs.
I've been done for 3 years. I've been done with McGill.
Dude, I fall for the McGill I buy
never
McGill stocks in April, but why do I fall for it every year? McGill is like the best pitcher in April. Like I don't get it. But then once
and then Memorial Day,
yeah,
gone.
But Kodai Senga, he shoved his game back. I mean, so did Mania, but Kodai Senga had the lowest ERA until he was hurt. Goddamn, Pete Alonso. We could have had a Cy Young contender, but he decided to throw the ball like right over his head.
He probably still could be a Cy Young contender. We'll see how the second half.
We'll see how the innings are, but I mean, Senga's been amazing. He hasn't missed a step since the start on Friday against the Royals. I mean, another ace came back, and
what I've noticed? Ever since like the word got out that Kodai Senga was gonna be coming back, the team played a lot better.
Oh yeah,
I mean, genuine. Like I'm telling you, this dude might be a glue guy. I'm serious.
No, because once he got hurt, the team went to shit, and they kind of like.
Kodai Senga might actually be a glue guy for this baseball team. I'm being serious. Sure. Like, because you have to look at it this way. And if we're gonna talk about Mania against the Royals, I mean, I was at a grad party, so I was a real watcher until the 9th inning when I saw that comeback. Unfortunately, he just gave up a hit to the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, because the guy, I heard the guy's name, but he stole the base instantly. He's like 9 for 9 for steals. And
the minute he stole the base, I'm like, yeah, this game's fucked.
Yeah, and it's nothing like against the Mets just lost. You know, I mean, you can't like be mad about that game. I mean,
the man had 7 Ks in like 2.5 innings.
Exactly.
That's unheard of.
It just kind of sucks that he gets the out. Like that kind of just sucks. Like, why does he have to get the loss? Because he pitched an absolute gem. But it's whatever. Plus, like, I don't get the managerial decision why you don't have Mania open the game, but. It's whatever. I mean, got fine.
The Clay Holmes experiment is starting to realize good starter for the regular season, bullpen guy in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's definitely a bullpen guy. I mean, the Mets definitely need another starter. We'll talk about that later, but it's definitely another starter for the need. Another bullpen arm is a need. I think the bullpen is the biggest need we have. I mean, it was nice for having the best bullpen ERA in April, but goddamn, I cannot have fucking Ryan Stanek in games anymore. He's so unreliable. He's fucking terrible.
Except in the playoffs.
He shoves him. He's like high leverage. I don't get how some of our players.
High leverage in the playoffs, man. Especially against that team from Philadelphia. He shit on them completely. Now, here's where we're going to get into the juicy topic of the show. And this is where all the questions are revolving. All the questions are being revolved around the trade deadline. Oh, well, JoJo did actually. Well, this guy dropped me a question. I'm looking on Twitter. Same guy as Joe. Oh, my God. This is guy's fucking backup account. Anyway, he says, quote, what do you think of the Mets fighting for the division lead while the Braves fight Washington for the worst team in the NL East? And the words of Drew McIntyre, I prayed for this and it happened. I've been waiting for the Braves to suck forever. Literally. Forever.
There's some rumors. I doubt the Braves would be so stupid to do this. But Ronald Acuna could get moved this trade deadline. That would be insane.
That's a pipe dream.
That's insane. I don't think they should do it. I doubt the Braves are that stupid. But, I mean, you know, he's had some drama with the Braves. I don't know if he likes it completely down there, but he is the face of their franchise.
I'm going to just say this right now. There's a guy that I've heard that's being potentially being traded. And this will be before we dive into the actual trade deadline segment itself. And that is Marcell Ozuna. Baseball gods, if you are up there, please send Marcell Ozuna to the AL Central where he is far, far away from this team. And by the grace of God, if the New York Mets trade for Marcell Ozuna, I will burn every single Mets thing I have. This show is canceled. Like, don't do it. Don't fuck with my emotions. Please.
I mean, I don't know what.
Do not fuck with my emotions.
I don't know.
Is he a great player? Absolutely. Is he a piece of shit? You're goddamn right he is. Is he my least favorite player? Why do you think I call him Maricone? Moving on. Let's get into the juicy topic, trade deadline talks. Now, if you aren't aware, you guys, if you're watching this video, tap in, you'll see me, Jax, and a bunch of other people, of other baseball fans, will be doing Immaculate Grids, trade deadline talks. The 3rd annual Empire Sports Media trade deadline stream is coming back for the final. I think we're going to do around 2.5 hours of the trade deadline. All that good stuff. We're not doing no 4-hour stream like I did the first year. That was redundant. That was ridiculous. I had to do 2 separate streams. One was 4 hours. One was another 2 hours. I don't have the attention span to do it more than a 3.5 hour stream. So it's happened on July 31st, as you will get to see some good old Mets trivia talk. Now let's get to the questions. Now we got some on YouTube, some on my DMs, a lot of other good stuff. But I do want to read this. Hot take, Wright had the best 4 or 5 year span of any third baseman from 2000 on.
I do not think that's a hot take. I mean, it's
Spot
hard.
on. Spot on.
I think Jose Ramirez, he's up there. So is Manny Machado. There's a lot of good third basemen this generation, but I mean, David Wright stretched from like 2006 to 2010, where I believe he made every All-Star game from 06 to 10. He has 7 All-Stars. But it's a debate for sure, but I don't think it's out of the far. I definitely think that's because he should have been won MVP in 2007, but the Mets collapsed, and somehow Jimmy Rollins won it over fucking Matt Holliday and David Wright. So I don't know. That's definitely not a stretch. What do you think, JJ?
I think he's spot on. I think the only guy that could potentially be, a contender for this honor would be Adrian Beltre.
Oh,
so many people forget how good Adrian Beltre was.
Yeah, dude. How did I not think about this? But A-Rod with the Yankees.
A-Rod, yeah. Adrian Beltre and A-Rod.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in the NL for sure. Maybe with the years with the Dodgers with Adrian Beltre, but I don't know. I'd say the NL, yes, he had the best stretch.
All right. Well, now it's trade deadline talks. This is going to be probably the longest segment of the show. Mm-hmm. Let's get right to the question. Starting off with my guy RJ from Chaminade. He says, "Do you think it's more important to add a top line starter or a center fielder?"
A starter. I definitely think a starter because Jose. What the fuck? Where's Jose Siri? I've not heard a single.
Probably still injured, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but I haven't heard any rehab or how he's doing. I haven't heard talks with him since April. But anyways, if he somehow comes back, I think we have good to fast defensive center fielders, and if Jose Siri comes back, we have a lot of power there. So
problem is none of them could hit for shit.
Yeah, but I just think pitching wins championship. That's a saying for a reason. And I think the Mets need another starter, and they put Clay Holmes in the bullpen. This team would be scary to face in the postseason. Say if you have another starter, David Peterson, Shamanaya, and Kodai Senga. That is an insane stretch to go through, and maybe one of the best rotations in baseball if you don't count the Yankees, Mariners if they make the playoffs, and the Dodgers if they're fully healthy. But we don't know. The Dodgers always have they're just always hurt. I don't know what the physical training staff do there, but I think a starting pitcher and bullpen is way more of a need than a center fielder. Plus, I don't like how the center fielders you're going to have to pay for. It's just a haul of an asking price, and starting pitcher or bullpen arm is just way cheaper. I don't know what you think, JJ.
So, I'm on the fence about this. I think that the reason there's arguments for both sides. Like the top line starter, for example, I could see people saying we don't because we just got Senga back, we just got Manaya back, and if you think about postseason rotations, most of them only consist of 3 or 4 pitchers.
Right.
Unless you're the Dodgers and you're just throwing, which David Stearns, stop trying to be the Dodgers with your bullpen game every 5 days. It's driving us mentally insane. I don't want to see any more Brandon Waddell starting games, Chris Davinsky starting games. Although Chris Davinsky has not been terrible. I mean, I like him.
Yeah, I don't want Blade Tidwell starting games. And
also, shame on you for letting Rico Garcia go to the fucking Yankees.
Yeah, I don't get DFAing him, but we have Dick Lovelady, so I don't.
He's honestly there just for his name.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. But, I mean, how could you not love a guy whose name is Dickie Lovelady? Because he sucks. That's why. That is
like Dick for a reason.
Exactly. Well, that was a little bit out of context. But, anyway, the top-line starter argument, there's definitely points for that. But the center fielder, I mean, let's face it. I do not trust Tyrone Taylor in playoff games.
He's terrible.
Good hits, but he's just not reliable enough. You see on this graphic, I see Jarren Duran, I see Cedric Mullins, but there's one guy on here that I want more than anybody, and it's Stephen Kwan.
Really?
Yes. He can field, he's fast, he can hit, and he's clutch. He's really, really clutch. And the Mets need a guy that they could put as, a 9-hole hitter. As much as I would love Jarren Duran, by the way, I think just to think that him and the Michigan kid who did the Coke line could be starting on the same diamond is absolutely hysterical. And I think Met fans would love Jarren Duran for how brash he is. I think that would be excellent. Cedric Mullins is obviously, Cedric Mullins is a very special place in my heart. I went all the way to Baltimore to see them play the Mets, and I got his jersey. So if I have to get that turned into a Mets one, I will, because I love Cedric Mullins to death. Problem is, I don't want a guy that's batting 220 in my 9-hole spot. The 9-hole spot is supposed to be for a contact hitter that can play good defense. Now, I'm not saying no Harrison Bader. As much as I love my Jewish brother, I don't want him back. I love him to death.
He's been decent with the Twins, but I just don't trust him back in a Mets uniform. But I think Steven Kwan definitely fits that role that you like in a 9-hitter. A guy I do not want. I see him on it. Luis Robert. I'm so scared. I'm so scared that the Mets will trade for Luis Robert, and I feel like that will happen. I don't want Jarren Duran. I think they'd be asking for too much. He's kind of like a younger superstar. He's actually older than I thought. I think he's 27, or he's a little older than I thought, but still.
You know somebody that could be a sleeper that could get traded? Brian Reynolds.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but I mean, they definitely need to trade him. Obviously he's not on here, but who could get traded is Byron Buxton. I would love to have Byron Buxton.
I don't think it's happening. I mean, you heard what he said at the All-Star game.
Yeah, he wants to be a Twin for life, but I mean, I don't know if his contract has no trade clause. I don't know how true that is. Maybe it's just like a media thing, like how he looks good, but
see, like I hear that a lot in terms of like the media and stuff like that. They're trying to make themselves look better.
Yeah, I think he's trying to look better. I mean, I think he'd like to be on like New York where he's a spotlight. I mean, it depends. Maybe some people don't like playing for New York. I mean, I don't think Baez like playing for New York. I don't know if that was too much attention for him, but while JJ has his like little technical difficulties, but I think prospects you should not trade. I think you're untouchables, and I think they are going to be untouchables. Are Jonah Tong and Carson Bench. I'm fine with trading like Jet Williams, Brendan Sproat, all those other guys. I think
you forgot to mention one that's no trade.
Who?
The Beast, Nolan McLean.
He could get traded. I think he's the most.
You cannot trade Nolan McLean unless it's for a guy like a Brian Reynolds or
Byron Buxton.
A Byron Buxton. Like, no, I'm not trading the Beast.
Yeah, I mean he's the most major league ready, and I wouldn't mind if we get bullpen arms and bring him up.
For some reason, I just picture that guy walking up to One by Metallica. For some reason, I just picture that in my head. Maybe I'm a little bit insane in the membrane, no Cypress Hill. But again, like you have to look at it this way. The guy that, again, there's a dude that's on here. He's in the bottom right corner, and I've been campaigning this dude to be a Met for 3 years now, and that's Mitch Keller.
I mean, he's a perfect inning leader. He's been an all-star in 2023.
The Pirates need to lower their asking price because Ronnie Mauricio may or may not have just established himself as the starting third baseman of the year.
I mean, I wouldn't trade like Mark Vientos or Brett Beatty for maybe Brett Beatty, but I would definitely trade a Brendan Sproat for him. I think that's a valid. I think that might be a good maybe a Brendan Sproat and a bottom a top 30 prospect. I think that'd be a good trade because Brendan Sproat has fallen off a little bit, but he's gotten some good showings as of late. But Mitch Keller would be a perfect. I think the Mets need a 3-starter, and Mitch Keller, when you picture a 3-starter, he's a perfect guy. I mean, he has an ERA floating of 4.3, but he's a perfect inning here. And the
record is incredibly deceiving.
Yeah, I mean,
very deceiving.
He plays for the Pirates, and Paul Skeens is 4-8, and Paul Skeens is going to win Cy Young this year. But anyways, the Mets need innings eaters. They don't have that. They have a lot of guys who go 5 innings, Clay Holmes. He cannot go 6 innings. I think the only guy who can really reach 6 innings is 6-7 innings are David Peterson, and that's really it. And they cannot rely on their bullpen because what happened last year and why the Mets couldn't beat the Dodgers, their arms were gassed. They couldn't. That's why every game was a blowout and they walked so many batters. They need arms to can eat innings and save some bullpen some life. So you can have Brazoban, Diaz, Reed Garrett, and maybe another bullpen arm, and to rest up and save their arms. So they need a innings eater like Mitch Keller, and I think Mitch Keller would be the best of these guys like Sandy Alcantara, Zach Gallen, which is gross. It's disgusting.
As much as I would love Sandy Alcantara, I'm very worried the Marlins are going to make us pay a premium in division tax.
For sure, because he's a former Cy Young winner, which he has an ERA of 7 right now. But I think the Mets would fix him. I think
Oh, they 100% would fix. Yeah, absolutely would fix him.
Another Marlin I like is Edward Cabrera.
Everybody does not want people.
You don't want Edward
Mets
Cabrera?
No, not that. The non-Mets fans, I get chewed out every time I mention Zach Gallen's name.
No,
I wouldn't hate it.
No, okay.
I wouldn't hate it.
Maybe. I don't know. He's just ass. I think like Chase Field's like more of a pitcher's ballpark. I don't know why.
I want Cabrera more than I want Zach Gallen.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's a younger arm and he has good stuff. I think he would do. David Stearns and Jeremy Hefner would love Edward Cabrera. I think
David Stearns. This is your make or break trade deadline.
Oh, for sure. Seriously. No more prospect hugging. I think since 2021 when we traded PCA, we've been scared to trade away prospects, but I do think
that was just a fluke. I mean, that's a fluke. I mean, the guy had 2 shoulder surgeries that year. Like that's just a fluke. Like that.
I saw this is insane. I don't know how true this is, but in 2023, the Mets were going to trade Pete Alonso
for Pico Armstrong. Yes,
that is insane. Why? I mean, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Did not do that. Oh my gosh.
Why would you trade for a guy you already traded? That's like, you know how stupid you look? I'm glad it didn't happen, but
that's like saying, hey, Cubs, we didn't mean to make this trade. Can we get? Yeah, you can get him back. You're just gonna have to give us a much more expensive package than what you got him from what you gave him to us for.
Yeah, I mean
now, and of course, to complete the center field thing, I'm not sure if he would play center field. He would be like, catcher, you've got my MLB Central pipe bomb, Hunter Goodman.
I mean, that could happen. I mean,
make it happen. Please make it happen.
For some reason, the Rockies hate trading their guys who are doing good. Like Ryan McMahon has been like a trade candidate for like the past 3 trade deadlines. Never been traded. Trevor Story never traded. Like I don't know what the Rockies are doing. The Monforts, they have no clue how to run a team.
They might be worse. They might be worse than the Lerners, and that's putting it lightly. As bad as the Lerners were, I think they might be worse.
Yeah, I mean, you could pipe dream. I definitely just don't want a catcher. I think Francisco Alvarez has everything up. Dude, speaking of, they need a DFA Luis Torrens or just make him a backup catcher. I'm so done with Luis Torrens. I love him defensively, but by God, he is like so shit at the plate. I miss Francisco Alvarez. As much as I hated on him, saying he need to get down, he's been killing AAA. I personally don't think he's a quadruple A player.
Problem is, there's not a lot of good enough catchers on the market.
Yeah, I mean, catchers are just like a defensive first position now. I mean, they really. That's why I guess Luis Torrens is good because he's like top 10 defensive catcher. But I personally want someone with pop in their bat like Francisco Alvarez, and he's only 23 years old.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Alvarez a second chance when he comes back up. I mean, I never gave up on the dude. I think he's.
If he gets brings up and he's like hot ass again, do you trade him like once winter comes around?
All right, we just got another question on the DMs. What would they have to give up for Jared Duran or Cedric Mullins?
Cedric Mullins, you wouldn't be giving up as much. But I can see like a Jet Williams or like a Nolan McLean for Jared Duran. I think you'd be giving up a lot more for Jared Duran. I mean, Cedric Mullins had that one All-Star year in 2021. Cedric Mullins does have some pop in his bat, and he's a good defensive center fielder. But Jared Duran is definitely way better, and he has contact, he has speed, he can field the ball really well. I mean, Jared Duran is almost a 5-star. I say he's like a 3-star, 4-star kind of guy. I don't know if he gets traded now because they know the Boston Red Sox have a 10-game win streak. But I do think if they do trade him, it's going to be a lot more of a high asking price, especially because they're not like shipping away their contract like Rafael Devers. It's like when you kind of like have a head scratcher for like, oh, why did they get only Kyle Harris and Jordan Hicks for it was kind of a contract dump, and they have $300 million to spend next offseason. So I say with the Red Sox with the 10-game win streak, I think it's less likely he gets traded. But Cedric Mullins,
shout out to the Red Sox for getting their shit together. Yeah. I guess Devers really was a cancer.
Yeah, and look how the Giants are doing. They're not in the playoff spot right now. They only have a game back, but still, they've been kind of shit lately.
So I just saw this stat on Twitter, and I thought I just want to bring this up real quick. The MLB has a total record of 1,215 and 1,215 at the All-Star break. The entire MLB is mid.
Really?
Yes, that's a real thing.
That is crazy.
You want to talk about parity? Congratulations, MLB.
I mean, I will say though, this is like this year. I feel like I don't know who's gonna win the World Series because you have the Dodgers who have been like really inconsistent this year. They had that 7-game losing streak and their pitching's always hurt. I have no clue who's gonna win the World Series. I think this October will be pretty exciting if you're like not a fan of one of those teams like the Mets. I'm gonna be stressed out like every inning of every game in October, but it's gonna be a fun October if you're a fan of like the White Sox.
Oh, here's a good question in the comments. Would you rather bring up a Drew Gilbert to play center than trade for a guy like Mullins Bader?
That's a good question. I think Drew Gilbert is like major league ready. I believe his OPS. That sounded British there. OPS is like 750 in Syracuse, but I'm not a fan of rushing prospects.
Remember what they did in 2022? They said, Francisco Alvarez, you're our top prospect. We're gonna feed you to the biggest series probably in 10 years against the Atlanta Braves. He was
silly.
terrible.
I don't get that move.
Terrible.
That was just another common Billy Epler like had a brain worm.
Sorry, it's Billy in Epler. Don't forget
My
that.
bad. But I do disagree. I think they should do neither, and they should kind of keep within if they don't get like a big arm. But I wouldn't be mad if they get Byron Buxton, but please no Cedric Mullins or Luis Robert.
I'm fine with Cedric, but no Lou Bob. Keep Lou Bob the hell away from me.
If Luis Robert somehow turns back to 2023 form, then
I'm fine
miracle.
with it.
But if you cannot perform in Chicago, then why bother coming in New York?
Good luck coming to New York. But yeah, the Drew Gilbert thing I feel like is a very interesting thing. I don't know if we're going to call him up this year. Now, granted, I've gone on a tangent about this. Listen, we are not trying to win the AAA World Series. Stop holding our prospects hostage.
Yeah.
And that's something that's just drove me up a wall. But, like, I think that Drew Gilbert is the opening day starter in next year's team for sure.
I say Drew Gilbert, you're going to trade for like a guy like Mullins or Bader or whatever.
Well, that's if they trade. That's if they make a trade for a center fielder. It's like
which
Nick says Mullins is a lateral move. Yeah, I mean, it could go a lot of different ways at this deadline. That's why we're having this discussion about the trade deadline. Now,
the Mets just cannot have prospect like this trade deadline. I'm tired of prospects.
Stop it. Just stop it. You cannot live with your own failures. PCA happened. So what? You move on.
Right.
Are you gonna
other
be better?
teams do it? The Dodgers traded Jordan Alvarez away and O'Neal Cruz. I think they're doing.
You figure this out. You know how you can get over your demons when you play the Cubs in the playoffs. You strike out PCA 3 times a game. That is how you're like, okay, maybe we don't need this guy after all.
Mitch Keller, Edward Cabrera to strike him out.
And then you watch Javier Baez hit 3 home runs in the ALCS. It's like, man, I wish we had that guy. But regardless, those are definitely the main things about center fielders. Now, the other guys, and there's other questions. I'm just going through my phone, looking at all the other questions that I got. Now, this one's a good one. This is one that Nick sent me. He says, have you heard about the reports that Stearns doesn't intend to go after an impact trade at the deadline besides a bullpen arm?
Yeah, I saw that.
Take this with a grain of salt, but that's Mark Healy who made the tweet.
No, well, the thing is though, for some reason, David Stearns likes to think he's still in Milwaukee when you have the richest owner in baseball and you play in the biggest market. You
also have a fuck ton of prospects.
Stop acting like you're the Milwaukee Brewers. You are the New York Mets. You have Steve Cohen as your owner. You play in New York. Stop acting like we're in fucking Milwaukee, man. Please go out and get a big bat. Can we spend more? That's not the only reason why we got Juan Soto is because of Steve Cohen. I promise you. Steve Cohen was like, Stearns, please go get Soto. I'm giving you all this money. Please go. I'm telling you all the good moves I'm kind of on the fence about David Stearns. I'm a big David Stearns fanboy. I'm pro analytics, but my God, man, it's start showing. Please, come on, we play in New York. Stop prospect hugging.
Girl pair.
Please. Thank you. He is so scared to throw money around.
To bring this back into fruition, I'm going to share my screen again, and because there's this thing that I saw, in contrary to the Mark Healy tweet, was our guy Wardy. And shout out to Wardy because he went off on Mark Healy. Look at this tweet. He says, I'm hearing the complete opposite. Take that with a grain of salt or take it with everything, completely up to you guys. But the idea that NYM will focus in one area instead of multiple, which is what contending teams would need to do, isn't accurate in my educated opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Wardy is probably one of the most smart, that's not even a word, one of the more smart Mets fans in the fandom, and obviously one of the more famous ones. But he's completely right. Why would the Mets only go for bullpen when they obviously need a starter and they need probably another bat or some bench bat? Because the Mets' whole bench are like the age of like 22.
Now, this is kind of – hold on. This is kind of unprofessional of me to do, but I did just get some breaking news, and that is Mike Williams just retired.
Really?
Yeah, carry on.
Wow. Anyways, I mean, that's basically what I have to say. I mean, the Mets definitely need to do more. I mean, yeah, Mark Healy, he is very unreliable. There's a lot of Mets beat reporters that just are very unreliable and also like to hate more on the team than actually be like more positive. That's just New York media as it is. You can throw a lot of names over like that, but yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that.
Yeah, because that was something that was brought up to my attention when I saw that. And I'm like, am I really going to believe this? This is Mark Healy, after all. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, as the kids would say. The next topic would be, and this is something that Charlie sent me, who gave me the Cedric Mullins topic. He says, he's from Darien, Connecticut. Is it bad that if the Mets get Mullins or Duran, they will have all lefty outfielders?
I didn't really think about that.
Because think about it, you'll have Mullins in center.
Yeah, but
Nimmo and Wright.
Nimmo bats lefty. He doesn't throw righty, so I don't think it's particularly a bad thing because like you have more left-handed bats and there's just more right-handed pitching.
It does feel a little bit strange though.
Yeah,
all lefty outfield.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I personally don't mind. Whatever gets Tyrone Taylor not starting every day. But you know, it's whatever. He does have great defense, and so does both these guys. It would be an interesting strategy, but I'm not complaining about it or like concerned.
Yeah, we simply put, we've had it with Tyrone Taylor.
Whatever has an OPS above 600, you know, like you have a guy who's in the lineup who has an OPS of like 550 and has. I don't even think he has a home run.
So now Nick says, as a Mets fan, I've been out on Stearns after the Yankee series. Once you start putting on games, throwing bullpen games, I'm out. Stearns has to prove himself this deadline. Absolutely. 1,000%.
For sure. I definitely like if there are punting games, dude. Buck Showalter loved to punt games for some reason. I do not miss Buck Showalter at all. He turned the team around for sure in 22, sorry. But he punted so many games. I do think it's a
and now you see why he's never won anything.
Right. I mean, he's one of the biggest like name managers who never won anything. And you know, he does has a lot of playoff trophies under his belt.
I will say I do miss his
rant, or like how he looked angry when after hit by
yes, those were great.
But,
shout out to John DeMarcisco, the best video team in the business.
But yeah, I mean David Stearns, he doesn't. He loves the analytics to these bullpen guys. Obviously, analytics don't always work out, and I think he's kind of a cheap ass sometimes. He just likes to kind of get the easy way. Like he gets a guy from the designated assignment who has like a 14 ERA. Like, what are we doing, man? And there's a guy from the Guardians to like an ERA of like below 2. His WHIP was like 1.44, but still, he doesn't do any. How he structures his bullpen is awful. He got lucky that Brazoban had a good April, May, but shit June. He's just lucky that the guys he has in the system like are doing amazing. And the Brazoban train was terrible last year. I mean, he needs to do a lot more with bullpen. I think the main thing we need to get is bullpen this trade deadline, because when you have a stacked bullpen, you're gonna win playoff games for sure. Like the reason, like people always look at this trade, but Chapman is a name that gets thrown around for the Mets. But you know the Red Sox are good. But 2016, the Cubs traded Gleyber Torres for Aroldis Chapman, and you know terrible trade looking back now. But it doesn't matter. The Cubs won a championship because of Aroldis Chapman. He was closing games for them. You know it's important to get an elite arm, and I think the Mets need to stack up their bullpen, and bullpen is a big part of winning a World Series.
Yeah.
No team with a bad bullpen wins a World Series. I mean, in 2019, the Nationals had a horrendous bullpen. What did they do? Trade deadline, they stacked their bullpen. You know what they did? Win the World Series in the fall. So I mean,
Who'd they get that year?
They got oh my God, Daniel Hudson.
I hope they didn't get. I hope they got Sean Doolittle at the deadline.
Yeah, they got Sean Doolittle. They got Fernando Rodney. They stacked up their bullpen.
I mean, Sean Doolittle was great.
But
Again, just not against the Mets.
Yeah.
speaking of, I wish every team had a Sean Doolittle. We would never lose again. Literally ever. I guess Aroldis Chapman was the closest thing to a Sean Doolittle because we owned.
Yeah, I know. Because we owned him last year, and then in 2020, yeah, we owned Chapman for some reason.
Yeah, and he's always smiling after. That's the funniest thing about Chapman. So, as I completely expected, the trade deadline thing went just about 25 minutes.
Jeez.
As I expected. So, Jax, I know I'm very excited for July 31st. I'm looking forward to having you back on my trade deadline
I'm
stream.
excited for this.
But it's now time for everyone's favorite segment, Know Your Foe. We're playing the T. Davises. He was not available to come on to talk about his baseball team, probably because he has a lifetime ban from Empire Sports Media.
Oh, yeah, I know why.
Either way, I digress. Let's get into this edition of Know Your Foe.
I mean, the Reds, I believe they said 3 games over 500. They're a sneaky over 500 team that could they're not that far away from a wild card spot. Do I think they're playing like above their potential? Yes, I think they're overperforming a little, but they still have a superstar shortstop who, in my opinion, is the best shortstop in all of baseball right now, Ellie De La Cruz. Hit from both sides, an absolute stud, 6'6" on playing shortstop, an absolute mammoth. Playing the hardest position in base, catcher's the hardest position. I'm sorry, I should know that because I'm a former catcher. But anyways, so he's the captain of the infield.
Forgot to mention this, by the way. You cannot tell me that Ellie De La Cruz and O'Neal Cruz are not blood brothers. Yeah. They look the same.
No.
They swing same.
When they showed each other for the home run derby, I was like, that's the same guy.
They look exactly the same.
They had the same fielding problems. Like they're the exact same player.
Problems. They both have ridiculous speed. They hit ridiculously hard. They have the same last name. They're both from the Dominican Republic. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Someone's got to have a blood test, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, you got to look at them. A pitcher to look out for is Andrew Abbott, All-Star.
He's pitching Sunday, by the way, so we're going to have a battle of lefties on Sunday.
So, I would look out for Andrew Abbott. Austin Hayes was having a sneaky good year, and Ellie De La Cruz. So, those are I would look out for this weekend. And, obviously, they have Francona, who's a Hall of Fame manager out their team. I think that's why they're making a slight turnaround. Kind of overperforming, but great managers usually tend to have these teams overperform. So the Reds could be a buyer at the deadline. They're actually because they're obviously a small market. You never hear about the Reds because they're the Reds. So yeah.
I have the pitching probables. It's going to be Nick Lodolo versus Clay Holmes tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, it's going to be Nick Martinez versus Sean Manaea.
Dude, they should win that game. Please
win that game. Thank you, Reds, for helping us win this game potentially. And then Sunday, it is Andrew Abbott versus David Peterson.
I mean, I said they should take it 2 out of 1.
Very heavy lefty series, I would say. That's 4 lefty pitchers? Because you've got Manaea, Abbott, Lodolo. That's 4 lefty pitchers. Yeah. Jesus Christ. So
we agree 2 out of 1, right? Take 2 out of 1.
It should be 2 out of 1.
I think Sunday we lose. We usually
you need 2 or 3. You mean 2 or 3? You said 2 out of 1.
Oh, I say 2 out of 1, 2-1 series, 2-1 series.
Nah, I always say 2 out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 is right. That's my bad, but yeah, I think they say 2 out of 3. For sure.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a very emotional weekend, that's for sure.
Grown men will be crying Saturday.
I might be one of those grown men. Even if I'm not there, it's gonna hit hard. It really is. But speaking of hitting hard, what do you think about and I'm just gonna kill some time a little bit. What would you grade the Mets in the first half of the season?
I'd say the only bad part was that June swoon they had, but I give it
literally we can't get away from it. I swear to God. It's a thing at this point. It really is.
I say a B+. They're only a half game out of the NL East. I personally didn't think they would win the NL East.
By the way, that's a miracle. The fact that they're a half game out after that month of June is a miracle.
They went 3-14 in a 17-game stretch. That is
thankfully the Phillies and Mets are basically playing hot potato.
Yeah,
I don't want it. You take it. You take it. You take it.
It's gonna come down to probably final 2 weeks of the season, which I know Mets fans hate to hear like final week of the season, your division's on the line. That doesn't go well.
I'm pretty sure we play the Phillies like really late in the season this year.
I mean, that's gonna be some playoff atmosphere baseball for there. So pre-October baseball right there. But I mean, I say a B plus is. I mean,
Oh God, we end the season against the fucking Marlins.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Hopefully the wild card race isn't tight. I mean, is it at Miami or New York?
It's at Miami, so
breathe
a little sigh of relief. The Shea Stadium Demons are not coming back, thank God.
Oh, I mean, still, sometimes the Mets don't play at fucking Miami well. I mean, I don't know how we played down the Marlins.
Like I said,
we played the Marlins like it's Game 7. I don't get it.
Are the annoying ex-girlfriend that you broke up with, and now they're here to ruin your life.
Yeah,
I swear that's how they are.
But yeah, B plus is fair. I mean, it's just to get that June, and they're second in the wild card spot only because the Brewers just don't know how to lose right now. But I say the Mets have
I told you, dude. I told you at the beginning.
You're right about the Brewers. I thought they were going to be bad.
The Brewer magic is inevitable.
They have devil magic. I don't understand how they're so good. They might win the Central because they're only a game back from the Cubs.
Listen, I'm fine with the Brewers and Braves swapping places. That's great. But that means that now I can watch. Well, we know what's going to happen if the Mets play the Brewers in the wild card series. I mean, just give the Mets the win already because the Brewers cannot win a first-round series, save their goddamn lives. So I hope they get the bye this year. I really do. I want to see the Brewers deep in the playoffs.
I don't get this narrative where people say, like, oh, you shouldn't get the bye, doesn't help, which two teams last year had the number one seeds. I think it's just like you had those like teams who had hot streaks. I think it would be nice for the Mets to have a bye. Home field advantage is always key. I think this Mets, they'd be fine with a little break. You know?
And we proved it that Citi Field is no joke of a playoff. Citi Field is a goddamn jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Those that weren't around in 2015, they know now. They know now that Citi Field is a playoff jungle. By the way, Spike asking you're a clown and go fuck yourself. That was one of the most ignorant things I've said. Oh, the Mets are playing so well. Oh, yeah, we should investigate them. Like, get a grip, dude. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
but anyways,
how can you play well at home?
Like,
it's not an insane thing to say.
That's legit just baseball.
Feed off your home fans. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what good fans do.
So much for Red October, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to become a fad and a thing of the past, especially if the Mets are going to be rolling back into Philadelphia in October, and this time just ravaging them of their valuables and just slaughtering them like they did last year. It's going to be more of the same. But hey, those are talks for October. So that's going to be all the time we have for this episode of MetsMania. Jax, thanks for coming on as always. And have yourselves a fantastic weekend at Citi Field, man. And hopefully I see you on Sunday. If I don't, it's whatever. I know you're going to have a ton of fun and make Virginia proud this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you guys next week. But that's all the time we have for today. Have a great day, everyone.